Kiss me slow, your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Maybe I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, you heard it, darling, you look perfect tonight.
Hello and welcome back. My name's Andrew Keeping, and in today's video, as you just heard, we're going to be working with TomPlay's app on the beginner piece of music for a complete beginner, and it's a simple but very effective little arrangement of Ed Sheeran's classic Perfect. So why don't you dive in and join me in how to play this piece. Hi, okay, so thank you for joining me today in my studio. We've got the classic piece by Ed Sheeran, Perfect. And as you can see from the score here, what we're going to be doing is using this excellent arrangement. It has a full vocal score as well. So if I take you into this section, you heard at the beginning the lead voice there. I'm going to take that out for the moment. We're not going to have the guitar in because I'll be playing the guitar along. However, the guitar arrangement and the guitar performance on this is very good indeed. I am going to put the backing vocalists in there, but what I'm going to do is put them so they're further back in the mix, and we're going to lift up the accompaniment for it. Let's just draw our attention to a few items here. Now, first of all, have a look at this time signature. This is called compound time. Now, so far we've been dealing with 2/4 time, 3/4 time, 4/4 time. That means 2 crotchet beats in every bar, 3 crotchet beats in every bar, and 4 crotchet beats in every bar. Now we're using compound time. We're dealing with quaver beats. So we're going to be having groups, as you can see here. This is grouped into a group of 3 quavers. This would equal 2 groups of 3 quavers and 1 group of 3 quavers. So we're dealing with equivalent of 4 beats in a bar. So we're going 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 2 3 4 2 3. That's how we would be counting it. That's how we would be looking at it. It gives it a lovely lilt, this 6/8 time. This 12/8 time, I beg your pardon. And it really gives it a feel of smooth ebbing and flowing. So without further ado, let me just draw your attention to a few details here. Now, I've included it with the tablature and I've included the notation as well. You've got the fingering that I've got in here as well. That's part of the annotation that you can add to it. I've got other videos on how to use TomPlay. So please do have a look at those if you want to see how to get the most out of this brilliant interactive app. So let's start off. We're going to start at the beginning. I'm going to play it through from the very beginning with the guitar part. You can be following in the top of the screen the guitar as I play it. So here we go. intonation into the second verse. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'd like to show you a few important technical things that we're going to use with our left hand. It's all in first position until that very last section where I take it into second position, but we'll come to that later. We're dealing with everything in first position. That means our first finger, let me move my microphone out of the way so you can see my hand. The first finger will be on the first fret, the second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret, fourth finger, fourth fret. I've got some tutorials on the perfect left hand position and right hand techniques. Please do have a look at those at some time, because it will give you the fundamental techniques to be able to cover a piece like this. But if I give you a brief summary of what that would be keep your thumb halfway between up and the back of the neck and equidistance to each finger. Think of picking up a tennis ball. You've got equal distribution of force to each finger. So a lot of guitarists start with their thumb back there. We don't want to be doing that. We want it in that position. Now, this is in the key of G major. I'll just show you that. So you can have a look at the beginning here. The key signature shows us an F sharp, and that suggests that we're in the key of G major. And for that, what we would have is open G, open third string, second finger on A. Now remember, keep the tip of the finger as close to that fret as you can. Not on top of the fret because you'll deaden the sound. Keep it back from the neck, but don't go that side because you'll get fret buzz. So we want to keep it as close to the fret as we can. That's the A, open B. We've got a C with our first finger, and then we've got the D up on the third, open E, F sharp, because of the key signature being G major, F sharp, and then our third finger, G. So we got to keep those fingers. You could practice your scale. Don't forget as well, if you're going up and you're coming back to the F sharp, you're going up to the G and you're coming back to the F sharp, you can keep that second finger down. Important tip here, do not lift the fingers off too far, because they've only got to come back down again. Keep them bent over, spaced out across the frets, and nice. So we start with the open G. Open D, we didn't cover that note. D, E, and then up to the G. See, the fingers are nicely spaced out. So let's go back and play it through. Now, I'm going to do it so you can watch my hand while the music plays. And we take it back to the very beginning. Have a look at the hand. Check out those positions. And incidentally, with the right hand, I'm using a rest stroke technique. That's using rest stroke where you put your index finger and you play across and you rest on the next string. While you do that, you bring the middle finger forward. Always alternate those fingers, and when you cross the string, it makes it easier to move between strings when you alternate the fingers thus. Use the tip of the finger and just push it down onto the next fret like that. Don't use a free stroke where you're playing up into the hand. You get a bit of a kickback on that. So let's play this through so you can look at my hand. Count in 2, 3, 4. D, E, G, G. Not lifting the fingers up too high, spaced out to the D, back down to the E. Okay, and I'm going to stop there. We're going to take it back again. Now, in the score, what I'm going to show you now is, in this score, we have the opening section, D, E, G, where we cross over. What you can do, if you're struggling to get the timing or get the timing of this section here, we can bring up a loop section. So let's do that. and I'm going to loop the first 2 bars. And we can play it. Let's lower the tempo a bit. Let's bring it down so that it gives us time to play through this. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Now the timing of this. And it goes back. So that loop feature is a very useful feature indeed. Excellent. Let's move on to the next section where we have this here. This is a crotchet rest. Below in the tablature, it shows it as 2 quaver rests. So that means you mute the string, and you can mute the string in 2 ways. You can put your finger back on the string in your right hand before you play the next note, or you can mute it by lifting the finger off, or you can do it by putting the finger so that it just releases the pressure and it stops the note vibrating. In this case, we've got a G beforehand. I stop it with my right hand touching the string, but I also touch the left hand. Just gently dab the string and prepare the second finger for the E. Now, that's a really useful point, actually. Preparing the fingers for each section. The way I would recommend learning this piece is do it 2 bars at a time. Don't try and play it too fast. Don't try and read through the whole thing unless you're a confident reader. But take it slowly. Take it from the beginning. Build up 2 bars using that loop function. Slow down the tempo. Take it away. Just look at the hand. Make sure we alternate the right hand, keeping the fingers close. Get used to that pattern. Getting used to the left-hand fingers as well. And you do that 2 bars at a time, 5 times consecutively. Perfect. Now, another thing that I did was a video on practicing productively, and it goes into detail, the art of practice. So if you want to have a look at that video as well, please do dive in on that. I'm trying to cover as many bases as I can, because ultimately what we're looking to do here with our music is to be able to develop our playing, enjoy our playing, work faster. That's one of the great things of this app here, is that it gives you so many opportunities. Some excellent recorded music with Deutsche Grammophon, their partners, and it gives you a great chance to be able to play some very good music well with some lovely accompaniments. Listen to the guitar on this as well. I'm just going to play it through from here, and you'll hear the guitar part with it. It's well recorded. So when you come to play along to it, you can hear the guitar part. It will also give you exact timing, help you to learn how to stay in time while you're playing a piece of music. And it builds your playing up to a performance standard, which is what we're looking for at the end of the day. Okay, so I said I'd show you this last section where we jump to the second position. And this is where we are, second position. Second position means we move from our first finger down to the second fret. And here we've got the open B, as you would normally, but the A is now played with the first finger, as I've indicated here. First finger on the second fret. Then we go to the open G, and we have our third finger on the F sharp, which is our bass note. Now, you may not have covered this note before. That's that's F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string. And we're using our F sharp with our third finger here before the E. And this is our first foray into second position. Of course, you can play it in first position with 4th finger, which is a bit of a stretch at this stage, back down to the E. So that's why I've given it second position. But this is what the guitar does. The guitar works in positions. It means that we can play up here. I'm moving all over the guitar. See what I mean? Here I'm in 5th position. I'm in 7th position. And this is how we play with the guitar. We develop our technique so that we can play in lots of different positions on the guitar. You get to know your fretboard better, and ultimately you get to play any piece of music you want anywhere on the guitar. Well, I hope that helps you with just a starter with this. Have a look at the descriptions in the video below, because I have included a special code to be able to give you TomPlay at a reduced rate. Do have a look at it. They do a 14-day trial. I love it. I think it's great. It's an amazing teaching tool. I use it for my online teaching with Zoom frequently, because it means that the students can follow it on the screen, which is a brilliant interactive app on today's sort of new platform, if you like. But also, it's really useful for being able to make notations so that the students can take that away with them as well. It's a good investment for a year, and I strongly recommend it. Okay, hope that helps for the time being. If you've enjoyed this, please do subscribe, because I'm going to be having more and more videos coming up. Have a look at some of my previous videos, because it's all there to show you to build up your confidence and build up your technique in learning how to play the guitar better. I hope to see you again next time. All the best. Bye.